6. That's fucking right.
He lives in the fuck zone party enclave.
If he sees a middle-class individual, he will fucking die.
Yeah, he's allergic to the middle class.
What about the lower class?
That doesn't even register to him. He can't see them.
I think, Chris, you mispronounced it.
Holy shit, is this...
So, Tom, does Chance Maverick work at that one bank in Market Street that just vaporizes low net worth individuals that come near it?
I guess he would if he didn't break out in hives. I mean, he probably gets his friend, the assassin robot he hangs out with, Flesh Reaper. He probably gets him to do it for him.
Flesh Reaper? What the fuck? What a fucking name there. If someone walked towards me and they said their name was Flesh Reaper, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking go, bro. If you brought, and we're supposed to be, semi-good guys here, right? And you go, yeah, my name's Flesh Reaper. I'm like, no.
No. Look, dude, Flesh Reaper's a lawyer.
That doesn't help.
I'm pretty sure the way I had originally...
Flesh Reaper.
It sounded like a moment where, Nishot was trying to sell me a show in which they try to, do a defense attorney as a good guy. Not often can they sell, especially if they're doing different clients each episode, as a good guy. Unless so happens he gets every, innocent person every time.
I've seen wilder conceits. Okay, actually, no. I'm thinking of ideas for this defense attorney show now. We should start the session before I.
Before you do that, I need to give you an important piece of characterization for Xander.
And before you do that, I need to be right back.
Okay, let's
Xander.
The defense attorney is actual for single combat. He's the guy who carries the shield and tries to block attacks.
I'm gonna say Chance Maverick exists as the main character of some kind of fucked up thing in the universe Avery is from, and Xander fucking loves him.
So
I'm gonna use all of the authority that I don't have to retcon that.
Hold on. Actually, are you telling me that Xander is the guy from 4chan who built his entire personality around Ryan Gosling? And he's just emulating what he sees?
I wasn't thinking he was emulating. I think it's funnier if he was already a terrible person and then found a character who fits his worldview perfectly.
Same
that one
difference.
I posted that. Okay.
He wasn't emulating. It's just he finally found one person somewhere who is even remotely like him. So he has Chance Maverick's his imaginary friend, the only person who understands him.
Alright, I just need to add a note.
The original Chance Maverick shitpost is pinned in the pinned in Grease Trap.
Okay.
Is it the first fit?
So Tom, I'm gonna let you decide if I'm lying or not.
Go
I just
on.
added a note that says Xander has added the Book of Maverick as a holy text for the Iron Legion.
Okay, I want you to know that is the most powerful way you could have taken what I said, but I also can't. I am sorry for introducing, in case you had a different direction for the Iron Legion to go. I am sorry for introducing to you the worst demiurge I possibly could have given the bastards. I am sorry to have afflicted you with Chance Maverick.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
The problem with the Chance is he's, by default, he has to be a minimum 80,000 point character because he has 80,000 credits. Each one is represented by a credit card that he wears as, scale mail.
That's awful. Does he even move?
Well, he's so fucking strong, Seth. He's.
Are you telling me it costs more points now?
He's
Has more
800 pounds,
points?
3% body fat. What do you think?
So he lost more than 80,000 points.
He was born with a platinum spoon in his mouth before they orbitally bombarded the orphanage, Seth.
This
Dude
all
has
checks
more
out.
points
Okay, so
Dude has more points than the Iceman.
incorrect.
Parents are rich as fuck.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
So
He wishes he did.
Everyone wishes
he
that
will buy more points than the Iceman through the power of money. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are rolling up upon the collapsing timeline in the hyperspace closet. First thing that you guys notice comes out. Mr. President strolls out. There is a fully kitted out army. From the section, there are just now fuel refineries. A full-on airstrip is added to the candy shop.
Oh! I thought you meant of stalkers. Okay, we're cool. We're Gucci.
No, I have stalker level down.
You do notice his little army men have a definite upgrade in technology. It's not mass-produced, but there is a division that just has what appear to be fully functioning laser weapons.
Nice.
It looks like Violet was able to figure out the focusing crystal at the last minute. Still unstable, but they were able to do it kind of decently. Anyway, let's see here. Next person out is Sweet Tooth, who I'm imagining is just loaded with fucking candy.
He's just got like baskets of candy. He's like carrying 3 of them stacked on his head. He's doing like, when you don't want to make a second trip to the car. That.
Lazy man's load.
That is not lazy. That is a true man's load. Thank you very much.
Okay.
He can be as strong as he needs to be, as long as he spends a few hours every day on the taffy swaller.
I mean, he does have 4 body for that reason.
So, we can also say there's just logistics trucks helping to carry the candy. There's tank divisions, there's airplanes, there are APCs, cargo trucks, jeeps, millions of soldiers. To the point where they are actually covering every available surface in the candy shop right now. Let's see here. Next person out is going to be Charlie. Charlie, you see your little section of the closet begin to collapse as the sky kind of fractures like glass. Colors begin to swim and blur like paint running. Oslo gives you a nod and goes, "This is the best I can do for you right now, but I'll see you."
That was pretty. This is good. I didn't die. As like I'm getting slowly drawn into the crack, I'm just giving him thumbs up.
He nods and says, "I will see you at the flotilla." And gone. You emerge. We're gonna cut to Bayou Bill. Bill sees the closet collapse, the darkness overtaking him. You are with the quote-unquote real Corey Maddox. He's gonna sit down and go, "So there was supposed to be a final judgment on you. I got sidetracked by the stalkers." But he looks up at the screens showing, as it was mentioned before, your moments of inhumanity. He goes, "Oh, sorry, let me fix this." He snaps, and the moment of you destroying Bertram's table is replaced with you and Corey fixing the grout. The picture, like, there's the image of you and him just having a conversation while cooking Cajun food. There's you being just incredibly fucking nice to Glaxtor after the 50th time he's tried to get him with a fake ID. He looks up at those moments and goes, "I think that's a good first step." He tosses you a fop watch and says, "Welcome to the Midnight Crew."
Bill looks up, and now that the tooth is a little better attached, it's more a part of his body than it was before. he can actually smile like a human.
Question.
Yeah,
Aren't we
what's up?
outside the time space and he can't say Midnight Criminal?
So this is like while it's collapsing.
Got it. Okay.
Bill is after that. As soon as he does that, Bill is back in the candy shop. These are all happening at the same time, basically. I just had moments to wrap up. That's all.
That's all good. I was just questioning if that was all.
Okay. Bill, you step out with the actual, like, your Corey, the one that's been, the not real Corey, quote unquote.
Do I get anything about that specific switchover? Like, can I detect anything anatomically or electrochemically about him changing or being replaced by?
So weirdly enough, the fake Corey seems more real to your senses. The real Corey came up like a ghost.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a spot inspection now too, so.
Yeah. Spot inspection is the only thing telling you that your Corey is fake. By all other metrics, this Corey is the real one. Doesn't have any of that ghostly bullshit going on. Okay. We're going to cut to propulsion. You've never felt so cold. Darkness is creeping from the edges of your vision as Bats is going. You can't make out any individual words, but you make out confusion, horror, just he can't believe things have gone this wrong. He says it was supposed to be fine. It normally only takes 2 days. And everyone else. So, just as everyone's getting to look at each other, Mr. President Sweet Tooth, you guys seem fine. Bill comes out looking.
Bill, there's stalkers after you.
I'm well aware of that. That has been sorted.
Wait, isn't
Probably.
Bat still carrying me?
Yeah, Bats.
He was carrying me
So-
at the end of the last session.
I'm gonna say as things collapsed, everyone got close. Bats is gonna immediately pivot to propulsion because he has realized things have gone worse than he thought.
Bill will see that Bats put Mr. President down. And how does Mr. President take being put down, Chris?
He's fine with it. I mean, he was more worried about you getting fucking hunted by stalkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
point out as propulsion comes out, he looks about a foot shorter. He looks burned alive, like full on charcoal. Bill, your anatomy sense is telling you that most of his cells are dead. He needs immediate. Mr. President, with his passive just mind boosting his medicine stat, they're going to tell you he needs medical treatment immediately.
Amp could actually help here. Is Amp in the room?
Yeah, Amp sees this.
Amp has like the regrow limbs and the heal.
So you're going to try and use a healing power?
Do you want me to use the? Do I think using regrow limbs would be better, or like regrowing cells would be better, or
Make a medicine check for me for Amp, just as a knowledge thing.
oh boy, that's not good. Fuck. Anyone else want to help?
Can Bill help with his hard dice and anatomy knowledge?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not going to pretend I know anything about that.
Can Mr. President help with just being so smart?
Yeah, actually, yeah, Mr. President can make his own roll, actually.
Okay. Oh god, I gotta roll twice. Alright. Mr. President has 5 10s.
Okay.
Amp has, oh boy, 3 dice.
I need to get my dice. I don't have those. They're in a different room. I'll be back in like a split
4, 9, 10, so no matches.
Okay. So Amp thinks that this is just a normal, like, oh, he got burned. A simple heal will do this. Mr. President, you've had experience with scavengers going into irradiated zones with healing powers. And you know that when there is a significant amount of cellular damage, especially with healing powers that boost metabolisms, the powers, after a while, would either stop working or would actively make things worse. You think it has something to do with how the cells divide, but you've never gotten a viable tissue sample to do like an in-depth study on it.
Okay, I'll use Miss President will use his command to make sure Amp doesn't do anything. Be like, stop.
Wait a minute.
And then healing powers, healing powers aren't just not really good for his types of wound. Now, would like regrowing cells be good?
So, fortunately, you guys have Green from the Vaqueros, who is a trained doctor specifically in this kind of stuff, being from Cargo.
Okay.
Green is already on propulsion. He's already doing CPR. He's going to go, we need a telomerase graft. We need to keep we need to get rehydration. We need to get hydration bags. We need to keep his circulatory system pumping. His heart's going to be fine because those cells don't divide. Basically, as Green explains, there's this thing called the Hayflick limit in cells, where cells divide a certain number of times before they kill themselves. And basically, he measured metabolism. Propulsion got to the point where he basically burned through his cells' remaining life before the reaction was able to be self-sustaining. What you're seeing here is essentially death by old age.
Interesting.
Oh.
Dude, he can make it worse and just slap a bunch of time in the timer and we can just go again.
So we're going to cut to Propulsion's perspective. Propulsion? Bob, Propulsion wakes up in a burning room. Weirdly familiar. There's piles. It's like a hoarder's. It's like a hoarder's room. You see. Fire is climbing up the walls. There is smoke choking you. There are objects around the room you can look at. The windows aren't looking at the same place. By which I mean, like, if you look out the windows to the room, you see other places, possibly.
Yo, he got Charlie's power.
If you look inside the room, you notice your eyes are drawn to certain objects, but you also notice that there is an exit. You're not sure if getting more information is immediately useful to you. Do you look around the room for either things that can help or for more information, or do you just focus on getting out as fast as possible?
So first things first, I'm gonna crouch, get below the smoke. Which is a good idea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna take a small look around because I'm getting Mindscape vibes and I'm getting upset.
Ooh.
Propulsion's getting upset.
Okay. Now, when you look around, are you trying to ascertain Mindscape, or are you...
I'm trying to ascertain whose Mindscape I'm in, and why is it the Hanging Man's.
Alright, I was going to make you roll,
shortly.
but the second you say that, you see the Hanged Man just in the center of the room, smoking hard.
I fucking knew it!
Alright. You can use that perception check for anything else now. You can use it to either get info on, like, hey, what's with the attention drawing objects with the window, or how the fuck do I get out of here?
I'm good.
10 higher dice and ascertain my skate.
He's on his way to earning it, that's for sure.
I guess I will use the perception to figure out why the exit is a lie.
Okay.
2 9s.
Okay. So, if you remember, you're actually looking around. You don't see a door into this place. Last time you were here, you pretty much left because your business was concluded, or because someone intervened to get you out. So that raises the question of, what are you doing here, or is there anyone you can think of for help who is capable of helping you?
I'm gonna go with, what am I doing here?
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to the hangman and just poke him a bit and go, what the fuck am I doing here?
So as you do that, rushing through the burning room, knocking some stuff over, covering your mouth for the smoke, you get no response from the hangman. He is well and truly dead at the moment.
Well, took him long enough.
So, Bob, I'm gonna need endurance to make. I'm gonna need propulsion to make an endurance check to resist the smoke. Bob?
2 6s?
Okay. Okay. So with that, we're gonna cut back to the candy shop for a second.
Well, 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 2s.
Yeah, 2 6s. So Green has a stethoscope on and propulsion. He goes, I don't fucking believe it. His heart's still beating under its own power. What the fuck? So he's gonna be like, okay. First things first, rebuild the cardiovascular system. We have to get the ATP reproduction back online. He points to Mr. President. Can you help the Candyman basically make a thing that can I don't know, do the ATP exchange, cellular energy, just burn calories on its own?
Now, Mr. President will probably know what this was, but what would that be to Chris, who doesn't know that?
Basically, he's saying that the cells, it's like an engine that's stalled out, think like the carburetor is clogged, the drive shaft is broken.
So he needs a Monster Energy drink?
He needs
I think either like an adrenaline booster or the little shock pads.
It's like the fuel injectors in a car don't work anymore. You need something to manually pump the gas while he works on fixing the underlying problem.
Adrenaline usually works. That's what they do when stuff's really bad.
Yeah.
All right. I will go to Candyman. Are you able to make adrenaline?
I should be able to, yeah. Yeah, let's go get working on that. I need to figure out what ingredients I have and what I'll need to make with that.
Okay.
He's gonna run off back into a shop and start.
I'll run off with him.
Lilac also
grabbing
follows you.
stuff.
He's got a gun spinning, going, if you need something found, I can find stuff.
Alright, I think Sense of Fear is on the top shelf. If you could get that down for me, if you shoot it, it should probably fall over.
Red is already on it. He's using the fact that he's 7 feet tall to just get stuff for you.
Oh, that's not tall enough.
Did you say
These are like
sense
warehouse shelves.
Did you say sense of fear is on the top?
But yes, we're trying to kickstart his adrenaline. So you need sense of fear.
Red
Okay.
jumps 10 feet in the air.
Oh, that'll do.
He goes, while he's doing that, Red looks at Bats. He's like, Did you try and teach him the burning blood in a fucking week? Like, yeah, it takes like 2 days. It takes 2 years! Bats goes, oh. Okay.
This is a certified Charlie moment.
Bats is just straight up like, I did it in 2 days. I thought that's how long it took. Okay. So, we're gonna make a candy called Restart Metabolism. It's gonna take you a couple of minutes. That's gonna be Sweet Tooth Preoccupied.
So Charlie's going to offer, he could probably sap a little bit of the heat if there's still too much heat being produced on him. And additionally, if they need to remove cells that are there, he could just turn his skin to glass and they could pop it off.
Green's gonna think about that. And he's gonna nod. He's gonna go, yeah. Get rid of the limbs. Get rid of most of the body.
Amp will go up and like, I can actually regrow cells?
Green's gonna shake his head. Okay, so when he was in there to teach the burning blood, Red explained this to me a little while ago. You need to get the body, you need to super boost its metabolism. The easiest way to do that is to fuck with the healing power so it uses the human metabolism. His body is still in that mode, and it's gonna be in that mode till we get a chance to step it down. If you hit him with a healing power right now, he's going to explode. It will be a fireball. What you can do is, got a sound power, right?
Mm-hmm.
How finely can you modulate that? Because we need this glass broken basically on a cellular level.
I don't think he can do that really finely. He's more of a big hit.
Okay.
Probably not that good.
Okay. In that case, just get a healing action ready. Get your healing readied up.
Do you want me to regrow or heal?
When I give you the word, hit him with a heal as strong as you can.
Okay.
He's gonna gesture for Bats. He's basically gonna tell Bats if his heart stops pumping for a second, get on it. As is, we don't want to fuck with it. So he's also gonna gesture over for Mr. President. He's gonna say, "You're the only other qualified doctor here." And he's going to give you instructions for, like, setting up, like, water bags, an MRI, like, not MRI, the fucking heart monitor thing.
Ooh! Would some of the soldiers be able to use this scalpel since they have, like, the bayonets?
Oh yeah, they have tiny weapons for tiny actions.
He's going to look at them and go, all right, I'm gonna help them practice a little bit so that they don't fuck it up immediately. And he's gonna grab the laser guys because they have laser guns.
Got it.
And he's gonna spend his action doing that. That means I'm gonna need a medicine check from Mr. President.
Okay, I will roll.
Don't mind, that should be fine.
Okay.
Right? My medicine is
5 tens.
Okay. You are more than capable of keeping propulsion stable for the moment. As long as he doesn't get any worse, we're going to cut back to propulsion.
It's getting worse.
The smoke is getting thick. Fire is basically starting to consume the walls. It started off as just embers. Now it's a full-on inferno. You need to think of something fast. If you want to try and figure out why you're here, you can do like a mind plus scrutiny check.
Sure. Two eights.
All right, awesome. So your brain thinks over your last moments, the cold, the darkness. You think back to moments where you've been in a similar position, and you realize you're either dead or actively dying. This is the most. You might actually be dead or have been dead and had a moment where you jolted back. You're not sure if this is the afterlife, but you're definitely not on the mortal coil right now.
Oh, neat. First time for everything.
That's not technically a mindscape.
What is
Close
the
enough.
afterlife if not the mindscape of God?
Shh, shh.
Wait, so why is the hanged man God?
Right.
I'm gonna try jumping out one of the windows.
Yeah, make an athletics check for me.
Is width or height better?
I'm gonna say height.
2 eights.
Okay, so you go for a sprint, and as you plow through the windows, you see snippets of other people, weirdly enough. Like scenes looking out on different scapes. You see, I don't know if you recognize Hume, but you see her fighting a giant fucking crab. You see a man you don't recognize with a group of people flying in a giant pickup truck, flying in a flying pickup truck from a rather oversized building, probably in the Scar. You see a man who has his arms engulfed in fire and is screaming at some great iron foundry looking thing. You don't get a good look at any of these moments before you go plunging into what is honestly a beautiful open blue sky, white fluffy clouds, but you realize you must be miles above the ground, if there is a ground. And as you begin to fall, before you even realize what's happening, you feel a fair wind push up from beneath you as you're almost flown back up, and you land on what looks to be like a pier or a dock or some wooden walkway going out into the infinite horizon.
I was gonna say, can I knife into the wind, like skydive into the wind and see if I can slice through it?
It looks like a familiar face has decided to help you out here. As you see someone you lost back in the neighborhood.
Well, this is a day earlier than I thought we'd see each other again.
Unfortunately, I did not have time. I did not get to practice an Irish accent last night. So...
What do you mean? Just do the southern accent. Just say, imagine an Irish accent.
Sam, you're going to type as fast as you can, and I'm just going to say whatever you type.
No, I want him to do the thing where he goes,
I'm
imagine
gonna try
an
so
Irish
hard not
and
to
then-
fall into a southern accent.
I believe in you, Sam.
You just see him. You just see him
Listen, it's
perk up.
funny you do.
Top
Ireland
of
has a
the
south.
morning to ya.
No,
it's-
it'll go southern immediately if I try. He's he's gonna perk up and go. I figured it was you with how foul the wind was. It's good seeing you again.
Good to see you too. Little earlier than I thought, but hey, you know,
He
I don't think anybody gets to choose their time.
he looks at an hourglass that is has just run out as soon as you hit the pier. He goes, weirdly enough, I think you're exactly on time. And we're gonna cut back to the candy shop. Weirdly enough, his heart just stopped.
Oh.
All right, he's coming in the cardiac arrest.
Bats goes. All right, the normal heartbeat's 300 beats per second, right?
No.
No. Let me just look up the normal heartbeat.
60. Go.
60 beats per minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you said 60 beats per second, and you just see like bats
Minute?
begin vibrating. Oh, okay, minute.
You can, if you feel more comfortable, I think up to 100 is fine too. That's
I can do
probably
60
better
minute,
for his
and he
metabolism.
goes.
60 to 100 is human average.
I'll help him count it out.
Okay.
Just tell him to go and beat with staying alive.
Also, I didn't think I could be.
So it is into night course, Seth.
Bob, can you disconnect Tom for me?
No.
No. I'm not doing it.
He refuses you.
No, here, I got you.
Feel the powerlessness.
No, he did it. I'm good.
You are at the mercy of Tom now. Be thankful he has mercy.
Technically, I am on the other server. Like, he owns it.
True.
So you guys are gonna see. Orange dragging Gray over. Gray is just being dragged like a rag doll across the ground. Orange fucking throws him at the scene and goes. Gray's like, this is too exciting. He's just gonna fire a bullet, and an aura of normalcy kind of just spreads out. Everything that's happening with propulsion is treated as being one width lower because it's too exciting.
That is incredible. I love that power. I love that so much.
What the fuck?
Gray's power makes things normal. Things cannot be exciting or weird.
Gray has just, with one action, shot up my, favorite Vaqueros list so much. Like, at least 4.
So, heart's beating. Chris, with your previous medicine check, you just... it's hard getting hydration IVs into propulsion. Most of his veins are just gone. It's like mush or cordwood at certain points. So you just kind of have to... You just kind of begin threading the IV itself through him and using the miniature bayonet to poke holes in it to just basically water him like soil, almost. It's very unconventional.
Exciting.
Yeah, with Gray's power in effect now, all skill rolls are basically treated as trivial. We only need to worry about, is there anything unconventional or high level you guys want to attempt?
It's unfortunate that Avery can't be in this scene.
Avery's still in his room, yeah.
Does
Does anyone go get Avery? Puppet Arms might work.
I guess that is just kind of adding cells.
All right, yeah. So, when this started happening, Bill ran to Avery's room and managed to get Chivalry's attention, and they just felt this is enough of an emergency that doesn't break what Avery promised to the stalker. So Avery comes back with what is thematically appropriate for propulsion. Avery comes back with a bunch of hot rod flame fabric, some flame retardant fabric, and a old dingy, beat up Rocketeer helmet he found.
Alright. Which do you stitch to him first?
Bob, which do you prefer?
Go with the hot rod.
All right. Avery will yelp in horror at what has happened to his friend and start attaching hot rod fabric. Let me
Where do you
roll
attach
for
it
that.
first? Do roll, I just need to know.
I'm going to assume that Avery wouldn't start on. Avery will start on the arm because this is a really fucked up situation.
Oh wait! I forgot. We took off his limbs. Right. Whoops.
Okay, Avery will start in a very small patch on the back to make sure it does not go badly.
All right. So as you do the puppet arms, just roll so I know how much is healed.
It is just 2 hard dice.
Okay. Bob, in the Cloud District, you feel a burning on your. You feel a burning on your back, and it's like you feel the skin on your back slowly fade away. The muscle is. It's like part of you is being removed. Upon seeing that, your friend just goes, looks like there's still a bit of you on the other side.
Neat. Well, it is genuinely great to see you again. However, I do have to perform one simple test to make sure nobody's fucking with me. And I jump off and jet down.
Alright, you're jetting as fast as you can. As you go through the clouds, you realize this space is infinite. Or as close as matters for you.
Still unsure. I go back up. I'm just gonna... Alright, this still has all the hallmarks of someone's mindscape.
Did you
So
ever consider it's yours?
That did cross my mind, yes, but you know... if I'm fucking with myself, that just makes me even more upset.
He just laughs, claps his hand, and goes, it's so fucking like you, though. He does like a lean back and jumps to his feet. And just goes, honestly, I was kind of hoping we could... Yeah, I've been waiting here a while. I was kind of hoping we could walk off into the horizon together, but... He picks up the hourglass. He goes, I guess it's not your time. Yeah, he just fucking tosses you the hourglass. He goes, honestly, though, I can't fucking stand to look at this thing for another second.
Well, you toss it to me, you said that, you have only yourself to blame for what happens next. And I crush it.
He's gonna go, wait, no! Propulsion, you wake up, immediately you are in so much pain.
Ah, good! I can feel again!
He's awake!
Avery, the patient wakes up. Avery panics. So how does the patch on the back look?
It's barely attached, but it's seeping in. It's merging.
Avery will say, okay, all right. He gets Chivalry to run back with the biggest bolt of hot rod fabric. He's like, I don't know why the fuck this was there, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking, and he just like pulls out a piece of it, has Chivalry lift Propulsion's shattered carcass onto it, and just kind of starts rolling him up in it.
Bob, how does Propulsion
While screaming, live.
Oh, neat. It did get worse.
Also, I would like you to take solace in the fact that you do not currently have limbs.
Yeah, your
Oh
main
wait, that's
body
not
is...
solace.
You have no limbs, you're like 40% glass. You see Yellow sprinting into Sweet Tooth's candy shop with a fucking sheet. Sweet Tooth, you see Yellow go, alright, I got a plan! Fucking throws a sheet over you, sidles right up to you. He is like fucking clinging to you as he hits Timekeeper's clock underneath the sheet with you. He's like, I've created enclosed space. I'm a genius.
Mr. President will put his time in. So
How much time are you putting in?
How much time does he need?
You don't know. This is a sheet. He can't do math with a sheet.
I'll ask him. How much time do you need?
Seth, how much time? Restarting metabolism. He needs about another hour to make it.
Okay. How much gives me an hour?
He said 3 minutes.
Oh, wait. Okay, I looked one time interval up. He needs about 4 more minutes.
Okay, how much do I have to give for 4 minutes?
Well, this is a sheet. Very poorly how's a year of your life sound?
Okay, I give up a year of my life.
Sweet Tooth, you see the world slow to a crawl. Weirdly enough, the bottom half of you is moving faster than the top half of you. As the time just rushes out. But you throw off the sheet, and as it goes flying, you see it slow down, and then as time resumes, it's like the world picks up back at double speed. You've cleared half the distance to propulsion with the jumpstart candy in hand.
All right. I am going to. He's conscious, right?
Oh yeah.
How is he processing? Is he just chill? Is he screaming? What is going on here?
He is missing all of his limbs and, 3rd-degree burns all over.
That is being swaddled in hot rod fabric.
And he's having basically a gusher filled with gasoline shoved into his mouth.
I mean, he just.
Chew.
Wait, he might not have teeth.
Shouldn't have broken the hourglass. Shouldn't have broken the hourglass. This is much worse. Much worse. Heaven was a lot better. Jesus. Oh
Wait,
hell! I don't know where the hell I was.
Does he have a tongue?
He does have it. He does now.
Okay.
He doesn't need one if he's the thing.
Was him talking like that count as chewing?
Yes.
Cool. His metabolism is getting jump started.
Prepared action. How much does amp heal?
Oh, sorry. I gotta go look up.
Sweet Tooth could also pop a healing candy if we want that, but I don't know if we want to play with multiple form factors here.
7 hard dice.
All right.
Engulfing, and it has duration.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
awesome. Green is also going to fire about 4 rounds into Propulsion's chest. As you remember, Green's bullets heal instead of damage. It's actually disturbing seeing the organs kind of press against the underside of the glass, crack it open, and regrow.
I can regrow his arms and legs.
Yeah. So the torso is remade. You play a sweet sonnet, and the limbs regrow. Bob, Propulsion's adrenaline is fucking spiking right now.
This is the worst thing HubSquad's ever done to a person.
It'd be even worse if we can't actually create blood. So he's actually like fucking.
Your heart rate should be like 200 right now.
Bolt upright. Just gonna go. I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna go for a run.
You got like little baby nubs right now.
I'll crawl. This is fine.
You got little baby arms and you can't hold up.
I'm pooling it.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
It has duration. It takes a while for them to grow.
Green does a little snap. Black and red just immediately pin you to the table. He goes, buddy, I need you to calm the fuck down. You need to lay down.
How many cc's of adrenaline did you assholes pump into me?
I gave you as much as I could shove into one piece of candy
Mr.
in like 5
President
minutes.
is gonna go up and with my hyper command, I'll be like, lay down!
Bob, I don't think you can resist.
I don't think you have a way of resisting that.
Can I burn willpower?
You could. You could.
You have to burn. I think because it's chained, it works differently. I don't know how burning willpower works for chain. You'd have to ask Sam.
You would basically buy off the width twice. It's really expensive. I wouldn't do it.
Well, it's very fun.
Unless you're playing G Slice, then
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Then it's
With
worth.
G-Slice, you were actively trying to get killed.
So with the command, you lay down and you feel your heart rate slow a little bit. You're, for a certain value of the word, fine, but the images of what just happened to you are still flashing through your mind. And as things kind of calm down, people take their hands off of you. Bats just kind of goes, hey, so I'm sorry. I am so sorry for doing that to you.
Hey, Bats, he's got about 2 minutes before he starts vomiting corn syrup.
Tony, this is fine.
Okay. So you see Corey peek his head out from the upstairs. He goes, "Hey, you guys know there's a stalker up here, right?"
Oh yeah, Amp is gonna be like. By the way, you had a long list of people visit you, including a fancy man with alligator boots, some creepy
Did he
stalker
get his candy?
boys.
Oh, did he get his candy?
Yes.
Good. I think he won't kill us.
Bill whips his head around. He comes here. What? A
Yeah,
race?
he was looking for a restaurant. Amp's gonna roll mine to attempt to remember. No matches.
I feel like Amp has to roll a d4 for that.
Fuck.
The odds
That
better?
would be more
What?
consistent. D4 would be better, because that's a lot higher chance of a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you could never do very well.
Yeah, you'd have to roll a D20 and divide it by 2.
Have to roll 2 D100s. Divided by 10.
Just a
I haven't
D100, but I have to get above a 2.
So you think it was called something like the Cajun Sunrise or some shit like that?
Cajun Sunrise or Sunrise Cajun?
Mm-hmm.
Can Charlie make a streetwise check?
Yeah, go for it. This is your turf. Gain a bonus dice because you were a tour guide. You know the restaurants.
Alright, that's 6 dice. It's decent odds. That is a pair of 6s.
There is no restaurant called the Cajun Sunrise in town. There was one that was here before the Fops, and there are now 2 decent Cajun restaurants in town. Now that some of the Fop kitchen staff has spilled over, there's
What were they called?
there's the Bluegill Grill, and there's the Parabellum Proclamation.
I'm gonna ask if he was thinking of either of those.
Nah, definitely neither of those. Also, some sort of mannequin showed up. I didn't let it in. I just shut the door on it. I felt like that was appropriate.
Or why did... What? That's a police officer. Why didn't you let them in?
You can't trust the police, man.
What if you wanted a donut? She's
We don't sell
an
donuts.
approximation of nice. Sweet Tooth sells
You
donuts.
look
Andy.
like horrified that you've sold donuts and and they've never known.
I mean,
Where are the donuts?
they're made out of honeycomb, but still.
That's not donuts. That's like a honeycomb snap shaped like a donut.
Over
That's close
the
enough.
argument, Avery will yell, and there's a stalker upstairs with Citizens Militia Cyborg.
Oh yeah, Citizens Militia Cyborg is made a new friend.
That's a
I
word
s-
for it.
I'm going to assume that triggers the lie detector.
It depends on if Amp thinks they're friends or not.
No, that was sarcasm. That was 100% sarcasm.
Wait.
Lie is literal enough, yeah.
Avery looks up and just kind of asks the room, did the stalker thing get solved? Doesn't he need to go back?
His last standing order was watch the cyborg until our return. I believe.
Oh.
Mr. President will go up and check on him, I guess.
Yeah. So how's Propulsion doing? Is he stable?
Propulsion is stable. Physically, emotionally, we'll have to find out.
Okay.
Bob?
Sweet Tooth is going to get a bucket. Since he had to do a rush job, he is going to start vomiting corn syrup.
As you do that, hey Bob, as Propulsion reaches out to take the bucket, you unclench your fist and you notice the hourglass is in your hand, fully formed.
Ooh.
It's one of the small ones, about the width of your palm, very narrow.
Well, I am experiencing emotions. This is fine.
Where'd you get
Everything's
that?
fine.
Seeing how destroyed you were, Avery will use some of the fabric to quickly make you a little hot rod flame teddy bear. I get 3/8.
It is radical.
Hell yeah. Avery very carefully puts it in the crook of your arm, which still isn't quite long enough yet.
It's slowly growing out to it. I do have 2 hard dice in that, and it has engulf, so I don't know how long that takes. I don't think it should take that long for arm.
It should be regrown now.
All right.
Okay.
Either way, Avery will still put the teddy bear in Propulsion's arm. Say, Art, you good, man? That was... I've seen us do some fucked up stuff, but oh my god. That was...
No, it's cool.
Are you...
Died there for a sec.
You don't need to lie.
Wait, you died?
Good
guess that-
news! There is an afterlife, I think, unless I was hallucinating pre-death. But, you know, I brought an hourglass back, so souvenir.
Is he actually holding an hourglass?
Yeah, the hourglass is real.
Huh.
Avery will...
Hourglass.
So, it reads the same way Johnny Switchblade's knife does. It's tapping into some other power source other than powers.
Sure.
Avery will pull out the compliant key. Like, he'll just kind of stare at it. He's like, okay, this came from the afterlife. And as he's pulling the book out, he'll ask, so, did anybody give this to you? How exactly did you get this?
Well, it was there. It ran out.
Okay.
And then a friend chucked it to me, said they didn't feel like looking at it anymore. And, you know, I took that as code for get this out of my sight. So I did, and I broke it. And then I came back here.
All right. If you give me a moment, Avery takes out the key, asks, what is this object that I am looking at? And gets 3 10s.
So instead of answering you about the object, because that would be a non-answer and that would be unfair to you, it instead shows you a drawing of what looks to be a hoarder's room with a man hanging in the center, with several objects circled. One, you see a shattered mirror with a picture of... It's almost like a holographic drawing where as you move the picture, you see the shattered state and you see it put together reflecting a clown. Not Parker. Someone taller, lankier, missing an eye. You don't recognize him.
Charlie's not a clown.
On the hangman himself, you notice a vial of blood on the ground next to him with a Green Meadows Pharmaceuticals logo on it. That the only thing you can make out is Auditor Blake Urban. You see a shaving kit in the corner that has its shaving razor missing with the words "Johnny was here" carved into the wood.
Avery looks up Ashen and says, all right, dude.
Finally,
Actually, Bob, before I continue on with this, sorry to cut you off, Sam. How does Propulsion prefer to be called by the people in the HubSquad, like the candy shop? Does he like to just be called Propulsion, or would he prefer to be Dave?
Propulsion.
Okay. Did you have another one to add, Sam?
Yeah, there was a like a globe, a map, and an hourglass. The hourglass was being shown being knocked out of a window by some wind.
Okay. Avery is Ashen and says, okay, Propulsion? You know Johnny's switchblade, right?
I have a switchblade.
Yeah, do you know about Urban Decay? Like the man?
Vaguely.
Okay. So I know you're not a fan of Mindscapes since you and everyone came to help me when Switchblade kind of kidnapped me, but I think you are now permanently bound to the Hangman's mind space. You're looking. I don't know enough about this. We should probably ask someone else who has more information, but you might be the next guy who has to hang out with or otherwise carry an artifact of the Hangman.
Okay, so Charlie is going to quietly leave and try something stupid.
Okay.
I love stupid.
We're gonna see if I hokey pokey it again, and I'm gonna be really angry if I do. I'm gonna go find a bottle of shaving cream, and I'm going to chant Johnny Switchblade into it 3 times.
Unfortunately, nothing happens.
That was worth a shot. I'm gonna return.
I'm gonna
never
pull
mention
out
this to anyone.
Johnny's. I'm gonna pull out Johnny's switchblade. I'm gonna tap the hourglass and Johnny's switchblade together.
Nothing appears to happen.
Well, worth a shot.
Bill will yell from across the room. It never works as often as you want it to. It's really rare for that to actually pan out. It's bullshit.
I'm going to actually summon Skater Kid and see if I can have him go do a quick look for Johnny Switchblade in the slums.
He's gonna do a little salute.
Oh! There was actually something more important, Amp just realized.
Yeah?
So the guy at the Hive was discovered.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Reggie got found out.
Yeah. Knew there was something important I forgot.
Avery looks up like, what?
Hey, Avery, why are you acting surprised?
I was in my room.
No, you weren't. You were actually
Yeah, he
in
was.
the scene.
No, he wasn't.
This was before the Stalkers came.
I don't-
Yep,
I thought
this
this-
was before the
I don't think it
Stalkers
was.
came.
I thought that happened after the Stalkers and Chivalry was involved because
Nope.
Avery couldn't
Yeah.
be there.
No, I'm remembering what Chris is or what Tom's remembering.
Okay,
'cause
well, either
this
way.
was post Vogue for being slammed into a wall.
And like Chivalry was there to be the. We said Chivalry was there because he was the adult
Yes,
of the group.
yeah.
But Chivalry doesn't know shit about anything.
So yeah. He said it was discovered by some sort of and they want to send like an emissary over here from the rebel faction to see if we actually sent him.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we could accept them.
Yeah, you said Skater, the painting kid, and I just like instantly remembered that. And then I remembered how Karenade destroyed his life.
Avery grabs the bucket that's full of corn syrup and vomits into it himself. And goes,
It's for
what the hell happened
no,
when
it's
I...
not up to code.
Oh, I wish you could see the face I just made. God damn it. Oh.
OSHA. OSHA.
All right.
I
Avery
don't
says,
think it's OSHA. Who's the Board of Health and Safety?
Amp, how long do we have for that?
I believe 15 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah, they came 45 minutes ago. And like,
Okay. Mr. President. Sorry, Hancock.
Mr. President went upstairs to go check on.
Avery is like in a cold sweat. He doesn't know shit about anything right now. He doesn't know where anyone is.
Sweet Tooth is gonna sprint upstairs and just drag Mr. President back down while.
I was gonna go check on the robot.
Yeah, Richard got found out. I think we have a little bit more important things to worry about.
Okay, what's more important?
You can see the open door. Deputy Cyborg is unmoving, maintaining eye contact with the stalker, who is now nanometers from touching his face.
Oh, they're having a day. Let's go.
Oh, okay, cool. What's more important?
Oh, Reginald got found out at the Hive.
Oh,
which
that's
I think,
fucking awful.
yeah, I think that was
How
about
this all happened in like 1 hour while we were gone?
A lot happens when the responsible people are in a room. Let's go.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'll summon Skater Kid to summon the people that Reginald wants to send over.
You summon Skater Kid. He actually takes a full minute to show up this time. He has a note going, I didn't get through much of the slums. Apparently Johnny may not be in this reality at the moment.
Okay. Well, that's another
No
house
loss.
problem then. You're fine.
Bill or Avery does have a question for Mr. President before everyone rolls up. Hey,
I mean, it's gonna probably take them a second, but let me send Skater Kid out first. Skater Kid, can you go summon, tell Reginald he can bring over the people he needed to bring over?
Skater Kid gives a thumbs up, and as soon as he does that, you guys hear a dripping noise as you guys see a storm cloud kind of appear, raining down honeyed wax. As it forms into a pillar, and you see a man just begin clawing his way out of the honeycomb, gasping and going, "Fuck, I hate this! Why do our powers suck?"
What?
There.
Avery offers him the bucket that has been vomited into several times now. Hey,
He's gonna look at you and go, "I just ate, thank you."
Oh.
I'm gonna stick my hand out. John Hannibal Hancock.
Name's Cargo. All of the
Cargo.
vaqueros perk up when he says that. You remember they're from Cargo.
Sam,
Yeah, what's up?
when Propulsion hears "Why do our powers suck," he's gonna perk up a little bit and do a test ignite of his hand.
Uh-oh.
It works. Your ignite works.
All right. Check one. I'll be right back, guys. Gonna
What?
go do.
Don't you need to go sleep? Go get some sleep.
He
I
had
was
so much
dead.
adrenaline in his system, there is no way he's sleeping for another 3 days.
I was dead. How much more sleep do I need?
Oh,
You were awake for 6 days straight.
I was dead. How much more sleep do I need? I'm gonna go do some tests to make sure I'm not chronically messed up.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Bats goes, I should come with. I need to explain some stuff about what happened in the, Bats goes with you, but we'll cut to that scene later.
Do you take the bear with you?
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. Is that bear made of fire retardant material?
No, I made him out of the hot rod fabric.
That was a mistake.
That
His name is
instantly that instantly makes it fire retardant material.
His name is Guy Thieberry.
So the talent who self-identified as Cargo gets up, brushes the honeycomb and goop off of him, and goes, "I'm gonna refrain from using my real name, of course. You have to be a bit careful." You see he's in a beekeeper's outfit with cargo shorts on the outside.
Ah. Okay. That hit me pretty good, Sam.
Would you like any free candy? I give away samples to people who come into the shop usually, and I'm guessing you don't want honeycomb since you're from the hive. But like, if you want something, I can.
No, I'm quite all right. Thank you.
Gives 2 thumbs up. Little hurt,
just-
but
We have a mutual acquaintance who has identified you as sympathetic to some dissident elements in the hive. Is that accurate?
that would be
That's
accurate.
very
yes.
accurate.
He drags himself up and nods to.
Actually,
that's
can
accurate.
I do an insight check on them?
Yeah, it would be like a scrutiny check.
Sure.
That'd be
I don't
guess
have many
I'll-
dice in that, but
I guess I will have Charlie roll scrutiny.
I got 2 8s.
All right, this dude seems very wary of you guys. He's not sure this isn't a setup for him.
That's fair.
You guys probably.
Can Charlie do scrutiny, or would you prefer to just leave it at 1?
Charlie could do scrutiny, but he would have to be looking for something different.
Actually, you know what? If he hasn't, I'm just gonna wait until he triggers a lie to try and figure out anything.
As with previous situation like this, Avery will drag himself up, kind of brush himself off, and say, given the nature of what we're going to be discussing here, I have access to a focus that would allow. But basically, if I were to use it, you couldn't lie to me, and I couldn't lie to you. Would you like that to be used for this conversation?
Avery, I know when people are lying, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
It's about showing trust. It means that we can't lie either.
Okay, but you just can't lie in general. So like,
Yeah,
Either
but
way,
he's
we
never
should probably
met me.
clear
I
the
really
room
believe-
of people that don't need to be here. So,
Yeah, actually, hearing that Avery
Hannibal
will look
Hancock will point at a bunch of people that don't need to be here and be like, "Hey, can you guys get outside?" Or go
Avery
to the
would
other
like
room.
to. I'd like to have Avery take a look around and see if a Vogtra was in the room during what happened to Propulsion.
Avogdra was. She is currently cleaning the countertop on the candy shop, unfazed.
Did she even react at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm surprised she wasn't shocked by that. Not because of like any of the horrid stuff that was happening, but because the inside wasn't made of metal.
She didn't register that. She's just like, oh wow, that's a lot of heat damage. Not, oh wow, bone's wrong. That and you immediately turned a lot of them to glass, so that immediately just skewed her perception. She's like, okay, I can't. Weird power stuff. Got it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
But I thought we already told a Vogtra that people here are made out of flesh and not metal.
Yeah, she didn't fully comprehend that. Like, that hasn't sunk in yet. Like, especially not to the degree.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, she's still convinced metal bones are a common thing.
But so who are we kicking out? You said you were sending some people off.
Yeah, anyone that doesn't need to be in this conversation, because we need to keep the amount of people like in these conversations to the minimum, right? Because we don't want them getting out. So all the vaqueros out of here.
The vaqueros go to start a barbecue.
Avantra can go with them to start a barbecue. Bayou Bill can go. Amp can definitely get the fuck out.
Given what just happened, can't. Well, no, I guess the hive guy is already here, so then. Do we? Does anyone here know off the top of their head how? I'm not saying this in character either. Does anyone here know exactly how Erasure might feel about the Hanged Man? Because he could probably help explain to Propulsion what's happening to him. He's like the most eligible character in the area at the moment.
I would not mind running and catching up with him at some point, but I would like to deal with this first.
Yeah, this is probably a lot more important.
Yeah, it does seem more important. I'm just thinking like on the back burner.
Bob, would you like me to send Carnade out, or would Carnade like to be a part of this?
Hey, Carinade's got seniority on, I'm pretty sure you, so like...
I'm just asking Bob more than anything if Carnade was even there, because Carnade hasn't talked yet.
Carnade's just. I think. Carnade's just in his room.
Okay.
prepping.
Where is Corey during this?
He. Well, he did promise to explain his condition to you, but noticing like he's not exactly required, he's hanging back. Borderline stealth, but not quite.
All right.
I mean, he
Corey-
does know about this plan, honestly.
Corey can join Bayou Bill. That way they can have their scene about explaining stuff.
Okay. And Oslo is, as always, outside of the candy shop, as it has been labeled absolutely taboo.
By the way, is Quartz still here?
Schwartz has left a while ago.
Okay, then
Yeah.
as soon as Quartz is out, he will be informed that it is no longer taboo to enter the shop.
You have been informed that taboo lasts until the end of time, and we have not reached the end of this cycle yet.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
Sweet was very careful to say for like the next few hours. I remember saying that or something like
Yeah,
that.
stalkers don't give a shit about time.
Wait, Oslo's a stalker?
Or whalers, fuck. Sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking of stalker grapefruit
okay.
upstairs.
Yeah, that's fair. I was having a moment though.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so I think that's everyone that needs to be out.
All right. As that's decided, you see Cargo assembling a polygraph machine from just parts he has in his shorts.
Okay.
This is just gonna take a second. You notice he's taken out more parts than physically would fit in his shorts. He reaches into one pocket, takes out a knife, opens up the pocket a little bit, pulls a full-on car battery and 2 jumper cables out of the pocket.
No.
I don't. Avery looks at that and sees other people being a little confused. I don't see what's wrong with that.
You carry a car battery around with you at all times, Avery?
Hey, Chivalry! And Chivalry walks back into the room.
I forgot the asshole of the puppet. Isn't that technically Chivalry carrying it around and not you carrying it around?
Avery loses a willpower.
Very good. All right, so he finishes hooking up the polygraph.
Sam with the very good was pretty good.
All right, he hooks up the polygraph and goes, "Okay, we have about 5 minutes before the damp utterly fucking wrecks this thing." He points to Mr. President. "I can already tell you are composed as hell. This isn't going to work on you." He's going to point to Charlie, kind of wave his hand a little bit, gesture over to Avery, go you.
All right.
Oh, God.
He places some like electrodes on you and goes, "All right, polygraph up and running." Okay.
Charlie's gonna lean over to Mr. President and be like, "Oh, that was an ironic choice."
That wasn't a bad choice.
He's gonna go, "Okay, so I need you to declare who you guys are, what you're doing here, and what your aims are for the Hive."
All right. We are a faction in this area. We have referred to ourselves as the Candy Shop. I believe, as far as that can be, that is our official by name. Our intentions are to defend this area from intrusion by the Hive. Sorry, Sam, what was the third thing you said?
That was awesome.
I like to think Avery said that too. The cargo. What was the third thing you said?
No, it's pretty
That was all
accurate.
three.
He's like, "Okay." And this Reginald, he does represent you in the Hive?
Yeah, yes.
And do you have any aims of supporting Colonel Sanderson or otherwise helping the hive to spread to any satellite settlements.
Our aim is to defend this area and its surrounding areas from the hive. We are not necessarily familiar with the political situation within the hive, but I personally am amenable to helping stop the hive from spreading any further than it has.
Okay. Are you affiliated with the Rice Fields, Shrimp Town, or Skipper factions?
Please define affiliated.
Do you work with, support, or are ideologically supportive of those factions?
Huh?
I mean, out of character, the answer to Shrimp Town at least is yes, right?
Yeah, it is.
Sort of. Yeah, Shrimp Town's a sort of. The other ones are no.
All right. Avery will say, we have worked with Shrimp Town. We are not affiliated with the others.
He's gonna nod at that, tear the paper out, kick the polygraph machine into the water, the car battery. You see the jumper cables unfurl and the car battery is dragged in a second later. You just hear him mumble, as a treat. And then he turns back to you guys. All right. I think we can work together. I represent... Yeah?
Yeah, never mind. I was going to ask a bunch of questions, but let him talk first.
I represent a faction known as the Butcher in the Hive. We are a resistance movement seeking to undermine and dethrone Colonel Sanderson. We essentially are the abolitionists of the Hive. We don't support its current power structure, and frankly, we, even though we are composed of people who are relatively high-ranking in the Hive and have benefited from its power structure, we don't really support what it does, and I'll be honest, we could use some outside help.
So does that mean ending slavery?
Yes. We absolutely want to see the end of slavery in the Hive.
Charlie.
That is true.
Okay.
I was just gonna. I assume at this point that Sam is going to tell me if anything dings the detector.
Yeah, but it's Mr. President still doing the double check.
Yep.
Charlie's just gonna give a thumbs up.
Okay.
It is good to remind me sometimes because I will forget occasionally.
Fair.
Is Reginald's life in danger at all right now, though?
Yeah, of course it is. He's in the Hive. We have a police state like very few others. It's hard to do anything and not be immediately noticed. The fact that he's made it this far without raising alarm at all is frankly amazing.
Poor boy.
So basically what I've come to ask is, are you able to provide material aid to the Resistance?
What sort of material aid would you be looking for?
Well, we are currently going through a harvest, so anything that can disrupt quotas would be ideal. You know, pesticides, anything that can taint the wax.
I mean, I have a create power, Sam. I could technically summon uranium, and that would make it tainted.
He's gonna think if you're proposing that.
That was out of character first, but I can propose that. But would that be something that would taint the harvest?
Uranium, if you propose that in character, he's gonna go. Uranium is used in the processing of whale oil, so it would be plutonium. Can you do plutonium?
I could do plutonium.
Plutonium works. We could. Those sections are kept pretty separate, but we could stage a leak.
So could you give me a specific action that you would like to enable your I don't know how you call them, but say troops, or if you have a preferred term, to be able to perform?
Saboteurs.
Saboteurs, sure. So what action would you like them specifically to be enabled?
Well, honestly, prolonging the harvest is always a good one. That lets agents on the outside have more breathing room, and it lets the satellite settlements build strength. So,
What is, in your opinion, the most efficient factor on which to prolong the harvest?
well, it's a multi-stage process, and each process is pretty compartmentalized. You have the processing of whale oil, which is derived from the processing of beeswax. Beeswax usually comes after the honey harvest when we depopulate sections and harvest blocks of the wax. So, honestly, any step we disrupt, it's a very complex chain. There's any number of ways it can go wrong. It's really limited by what we have. If I wanted to cause the most delays, I would say um, either at the start with the initial smoking and harvest, as that would delay all further steps, or hitting it right out of the port after all the processing and work has been done for maximum economic damage.
Is the substance you call whale oil? What does it? Is it just called that, or does it have anything to do with the whales, like the big monsters and the deeper in the flooded district?
I'll be honest, I don't know where whale oil comes from. I thought maybe whales were just one of the many creatures that got mutated in the Awakening.
It's a little bit more than that, I believe, but leave it at that.
So, out of character, would it be worth trying to find a way to get Oslo to talk about this? Because if it's called whale oil, maybe he'll know a way to, like, damage it.
I mean, I'm amenable to calling Oslo in here. I don't know.
This
if we
is
want
the
to
Tate
invite
design,
him in.
and I think we should just keep it down to the minimum. We can always ask
Sure.
Oslo separately. It's not really...
Okay, so how would you go about, let's say, messing with it at the start?
Well, so step one to the harvest is smoking. We flood entire sections with smoke to clear out the bees. Certain breeds of bees are more aggressive, and for those we have to use, well, pesticides. We have to use toxic gas to clear out the bees entirely. It creates a very toxic work environment, so if I could do something to sabotage the suits used, or potentially change the pesticide used to one that's sticks around longer, it could potentially poison the wax. And if it's bound for balm production or treatment, that would ruin the entire harvest. It would also ruin the honey that might be present.
Interesting.
Second could be if we introduce pheromones to the standard smoke to both stop it from calming the bees down and or potentially aggravate them, that could render an entire area unharvestable for a week or two, which is...
Are you in hazmat or similar suits when you're doing this, or can your breath escape out into the world?
It depends. If they're contractors, they'll have hazmat suits. If they're slaves, they're just thrown in with basic padding.
Okay. Do you think you could potentially feed something to the slaves before they are going out to the fields? Is that something accomplishable?
It would be risky. We'd prefer not to. It
Okay.
would draw attention.
Would you yourselves potentially be in the fields while this is happening? Not you yourself, but your saboteurs.
We have very few slaves working with us, but we have one or two overseers working for us. We could have them assigned to a harvest. What are you thinking?
So, as much as I don't like showing my hand, I would say I am a tinkerer, and I was the form I work on is edible candy that does power, and I was thinking I could make a candy that affected someone's breath so that as they breathed out, it could stick to the pesticides and make them stay around longer, or maybe do something that interacts with the smoke, whichever you determine more effective or easier to pass off.
Something similar to smoke would probably work. Could build it into a fake tooth. Might work. If we're gonna do that, we need to do it fast. The initial stage of the harvest is almost complete. After that, we'd be hard stuck into either targeting high value stages of production or bombing the final product.
Oh, also, another quick question. Do you ever interact with Hive members and have issues with that?
All the time. But
Here, take a few of these. I'm going to hand him a few of the silver tongues that I made. I'll pop these before an interaction. It'll sweeten your voice. And he's going to kind of wink as he says that.
You can't read him through the beekeeper mesh, but he'll shrug and place it in the cargo pants.
I'm gonna summon a bunch of the plutonium.
All right.
Just out in the open?
It's not that much. I can't create much at once, and it's the soldiers that summon it. So I can have a bunch of them create a lead line and then summon it inside.
All right. You get this little like lead foiled package with active plutonium in it. He's gonna nod and go, "Yeah, I might be able to do something with this." He'll get it into the cargo pants and go, "All right. Do you want us to afford any protections to your man, or we can do aid or we can do protection? Which would you prefer?"
I would prefer him come back alive, so any protection you can give to him is...
Well, just so you know, his current mission was to sort of cause disruption and infighting amongst, like, some of the higher ups that were loyal to...
If he's been exposed, he needs protection.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Does the colonel know about him?
No. We just the butcher's men, and that's only because, we'll be honest, we thought he was part of the secret police. He had big cop at a music festival vibes, if you get my meaning.
Considering his background, that's a
Charlie's
little
gonna
odd.
nod. That's kind of the opposite vibe that I'd expect from him, but,
I guess whatever happened in therapy really mellowed him out.
Well, sometimes they try too hard, you know?
that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, we'll get attention off of him. He is shooting for upper management right now, so even we don't have people up there, so might be good contact. He's gonna have to do some awful things to get there, though. You are aware of that, right?
No, we were not. What's he gonna have to do?
Well, he hands you a letter. This is from him. It is basically going, hey, so it's from Reginald. He has been requested by the secret police of the Hive to assist with interrogations. They want him to build a glow stick that breaks down the target's will, so that they are easier to break an interrogation. Doing so would give him a connection to the secret police and that would help him scale the ladder a lot faster.
I don't want to make that decision for him. If that's something that his conscience...
If he feels comfortable with doing it, then that's, then yes. If not, then...
Does anyone want to make an empathy check real fast on the letter?
I don't have empathy.
Charlie can make an empathy check on that.
I'd have Avery make one too.
Alright, this is being read as someone...
Is height or width better?
Height.
Okay, that'll be 4 tens.
4 tens? Okay, what's Avery get out of this?
Avery actually didn't get any matches.
Avery,
Nice.
yeah, this seems completely normal. This is just him asking a question. Charlie, you read this as a man desperate for guidance because, like, he recognizes that this is something that, like, this is objectively, this is the step one. It's going to be incredibly difficult if he has to be looking over his shoulder for the secret police at all times. If they don't have eyes on him, he's free to do a lot more. This is the best opener he could ask for, but at the same time, you can tell this is gonna hurt him to do. Like, personally, he's not okay doing it, but it's like he feels like
I don't
they
want to make him do
need
that.
to do this.
Actually, this would be Charlie talking. I don't want to make him do this. I don't think he would come out of that okay, and I don't know that that's worth it. Like, I don't want to sabotage him for that.
What do you guys think? Yay or nay on Reginald aiding the secret police?
I'm gonna say nay. I mean, we did so much to save Reginald, so no.
Yeah, he should keep himself alive.
Well,
Meant
yeah, mentally. Physically, helping the secret police would keep a lot of heat off of him and help him avoid suspicion. But it's like, yeah. Okay. So, universally nay, pretty much?
seems like.
Alright. Cargo's gonna take the letter after you guys write nay on it. He's gonna go, okay. I'll get it back to him as soon as I can. I just have to boil 16 gallons of beeswax to get that reverse teleport working. You see him slowly build a fire, just cursing under his breath at how much he fucking hates this teleport power.
Wild.
Sweet Tooth's going to watch, happy that he did manage to still give him free samples of candy.
Okay. We are going to cut to bats and propulsion. Propulsion, you're testing your powers. Pretty much everything works, but you don't have access to any of the stuff you had while doing the heat training. So, like the flame aura, the pressurized blood, none of that stuff is back. And as Bats explains, he goes, "Yeah, I had to kill the training before your body got the reaction to be self-sustaining. So all that stuff is still in there somewhere, but it's gonna take some sort of trauma or impetus or spark for it to reignite, you know?"
I think I have the perfect candidate.
When I say trauma, I mean like something real, like life or death again, you know?
I think I have the perfect candidate.
Bats is concerned. He's like, "Yeah, you don't just leave it at that."
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Cool. I'm not worried about you deeply. And we're gonna cut.
Don't
some
you lie
reason-
to me!
For some reason, Charlie's lie detector went off, but no one was speaking.
We're gonna get to Bayou Bill and Corey sharing a nice cup of tea.
Can we step back a bit I'd like to know Corey's reaction to finding out there's a stalker upstairs.
He seems pretty mellow about it.
All right, that doesn't match up what I was expecting at all.
Well, he just shrugs and goes, "We're not in the way of its job, are we?
I guess not.
As long as we don't interact with it, it's gonna stay stable."
Are you okay, Cyborg? Get you
Cyborg's
anything?
just going, I'm afraid to say too much, because every word I say, he gets closer.
Blink twice if you need some water.
He blinks 3 times.
I think that means you need to bring him a cup and a half of water.
Bill sees that, nods, reaches for one of his flasks, and hands it over.
Cyborg doesn't move his arms at all. He just kind of like pushes his lips to get around the edge and just drinks out of the side of his mouth, spilling quite a bit. He's gonna go, okay,
Bill.
I think that was okay.
Bill looks at a loss for it. Says, "Yeah, oh, all right. If you need anything more, blink really loud." And then he walks away.
Poor guy. Wait, he was a sniper. I don't feel bad for him.
You guys never asked about that. So you cut to Corey. He just goes, "See what I mean? Stalkers just kind of do what they do. They're not really."
Yeah, that's deeply concerning.
You get used to it.
I reckon that one's probably there for me, or at least the group was. I wonder why it's still here.
Probably wasn't given open enough orders.
Will they come to collect it, or?
Not if their job is done, no.
Oh, so do we just have a stalker? Do we wait for it to die, or?
Yeah, it's probably got about 5 days of water left in it.
Okay. I guess at some point it might, if you happen to know a way to contact Wolf's group, it might not be a terribly bad idea, especially if they might need to be checking in on me every once in a while for whatever this is. He says that he taps the tooth. Might not be a bad idea to get some kind of rapport going with them as much as is possible with stalkers.
Corey's gonna make a roll real fast. He's gonna go, "Are you sure?" Okay, that's good enough. He's gonna go, "Are you sure the stalker upstairs isn't the security thing watching you in like an abstract way?"
Oh, that's a good point actually. It's a shame then that it's just attached to Cyborg.
Well, if you're gonna be using Cyborg for anything, the stalker's gonna follow him.
I mean, we follow him or wear him like a backpack. I have never seen someone stand that close to another person.
Yeah, stalkers are like that. Corey seems greatly relieved that you're not asking the question he was afraid you were going to ask.
Well, we're not done making our coffee yet.
The tea is done. He's taking a sip.
All right. Bill is still a little annoyed about some of the things that happen in there, and he wants to be a little more serious with his life, but still does have a sense of humor. So he waits for Corey to be in the middle of a sip, and then asks, "So, what exactly is going on with you being in two places at once?"
He's just gonna sigh while drinking his tea, put down the cup, and go, "So, in a very real sense, I'm not. It's difficult to okay, it's actually not difficult at all to explain. I died after 5 points. Zed's gas was too much. My lungs were gone. the poison was eating my circulatory system alive from the inside out. Frankly, I was mush by the time I dragged Bob's body to, out of 5 points. The only reason I'm alive is there was a Nazi scientist named Ramos. He's a bit of a defector, I guess you could say. More into it for the science than ideology. He was the one who bound Bob's heart and brought him back. He was the one who gave us a couple of our artifacts to keep us going. With me, he had an experiment he had with predator loci going on. He had one grafted onto me and had it mimic me as it ate my body. I'm not sure if I'm still Corey Maddox or not. He's going to stop and go, no, actually, I'm certain I'm not Corey Maddox. Or at least not who he was.
Is that how you think you're able to get out of the dark room?
Yeah, I think so.
It's odd that the name would have survived through.
Well, Corey Maddox isn't exactly an uncommon name.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, I got to the brain, and frankly, he made a better argument than whatever instincts the loci had, so I became him.
See.
I really struggled with it for the first couple of months, but over time, it's in my nature, I guess. I just grew to fit the role.
Man, guess we get better at it. I know from that's all those things I said. I don't know where I am and where the tooth is. I reckon I don't really have any of my original body left at this point.
Same here.
Understand it.
The amazing thing was I really did think I was Corey Maddox for a little bit there. Then we finished the dark rooms, and I guess even the memory of 5 points couldn't let him go, because there he was. Just there. I know we need to break the dark rooms, kill the iconoclast, break the dead name, get everyone out, but I am nervous, because that's...
Wouldn't that just create two of you?
I don't think they're going to accept the substitution when they have the original back, if you get my meaning. No one...
They all seem to be pretty reasonable, or at least the fellows I've met out on the docks. I can't imagine they would deny you. Like, you've done a good job for them, done well by them.
I don't know. Just this sense of dread I get. It's like I'm not gonna be me when he's back here. It's like meeting someone who's a perfect replica of you, but better in every way. Kinda grates. But that's personal bullshit. Not your problem.
I truly and honestly think you'll be fine. Like, you might have to change a bit. Probably gonna hurt, but you'll get through it.
Yeah.
I at the very least imagine, like, all that intimidation stuff you had shown me. Imagine how well you could do if you have two people who look exactly the same. That the possibilities, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, don't go telling that around right now. I think Heartless Bob and Tommy are the only ones who know. Maybe I think Lug suspects.
All right.
Speaking of, I sent a wire. Lug's gonna be joining you guys on your little mission.
Wonderful. Now, I realize you gave me this object, and Bo takes the flop watch out of the pocket that he put it into. What exactly am I looking at here?
Oh, it's the Hands of Midnight, the Fob Watch, the Midnight Hour, whatever you want to call it. It's got many names. We hand them out to Midnight crew members, or we used to hand them out to all Midnight crew members. We can't make any more at the moment. You keep it wound every day. It's going to be useless for telling time, but its hands will tick so long as you're a member of the Midnight crew. As for what it does, well, he opens the clock, presses the little dial on top. Everyone here, you guys see that it is now. It went from midday to midnight in an instant.
Oh.
An oversized moon takes up about a third of the sky. The unearthly light kind of tingles on your skin. He closes the watch. It's suddenly back to the exact time of day it was before. It was dark for about 3 seconds.
Oh, that's
Carly
quite the
is very
thing.
quick trying to figure out what happened.
Bill, like, very carefully puts the watch back into its pocket and says, "Now, considering that the focus did, or my tooth did blot out the sun a moment there, do you reckon I'll run into any problems if I use this? Does that group of stalkers know about it?"
I'm sure people know about them, but I don't know. I don't think it applies to every part of the city when we do it. I don't really know the mechanics of it deep down. They were made by the Children of Mother Night. It's one of their holy relics they make. I never really look into it beyond what it can do. That being said, you do need to wind it every day, otherwise it loses everything.
All right. Bill kind of absentmindedly winds it right now.
All right, you lose 1 willpower.
Oh.
The watch now has 1 round of midnight stored. You can wind it again in 24 hours.
All right, and it just spends a willpower every day to exist?
It stores it. When you activate it, you get all stored willpower back.
Weird.
Fair investment, maybe.
All right. Good thing Bill had all those points.
I will say keep track of it because I might lose track.
All right.
It becomes midnight for a number of rounds equal to the amount of willpower invested into it.
Okay.
While it is midnight, any power that has darkness as a requirement, you can basically treat, even if you are under floodlights, if it is midnight, it is treated as being dark. You can make stealth checks while directly observed. Basically, anything that has to do with visibility, you get to decide. It goes whatever way is favorable to you.
So, hearing an explanation of this, Bill will look up and ask, so you've known Avery and Chivalry at some level for a while, right?
He nods.
I understand that Chivalry apparently died once.
He thinks about it. Yeah, back where the warehouse was turned to glass, yeah.
I don't. Okay, so I'm not sure I believe it, but they say he comes back every midnight. Would this would would this be able to bring him back if he dies?
Corey nods. Yeah, any power that's contingent on it being midnight triggers when you activate this power.
Immortal chivalry. Interesting.
Hide behind a pile of dead chivalries. Perfect cover. But Bill looks really shocked at that and puts the watch back in the pocket. It says, "Wait, what do you mean the warehouse was turned to glass?"
Well, I don't know if it was the same group. It was had a lot of different members back then, but him and a few others. I think Sweet Tooth was there. I'm not sure. There was an anomaly we had in one of our warehouses. We paid your friends to take a look at it, and it got resolved when they basically collapsed the building on it, and Takasma turned it to glass, from what I gather. I think that's where you got your friend's glass eye, actually.
All right, out of character, can I just say that I like that the only way for a new member of HubSquad to get information about what happened before they joined, they can't ask. You can't ask the other characters. You have to ask an NPC.
Correct.
So now Bill knows the origin of the eye.
InfoSec, but only when it inconveniences us.
So Bill is pretty damn shocked by that. So, all right, that's quite the thing.
Yeah, it was actually a hell of an anomaly. We massively underestimated it because it just never left the arms warehouse. It was incredibly dangerous. Yeah. Glad I got taken care of. No idea what happened to it, honestly.
Kind of stirs his tea a little bit. It says, "You think I would have been told these things?"
Why?
Bill doesn't say anything for a little while, but takes like a really, really loud sip of tea at that. Oh, maybe I don't actually know. I don't. Wait, do you think Charlie knows?
Probably not. Did you ever ask how he got the eye?
Bill realizes a lot of stuff about the people around him and about himself in this moment as it relates to sharing personal information, and he just spikes the tea with about half of one of the flasks.
Corey nods, finishes his tea. He looks at his watch, which is just a separate fob watch he has in the opposite pocket, and goes, "Well, I really do have to be heading back. We did get a notice that the hive is ceasing all food shipments to us for the time being, so I do need to go stop that."
All right.
Anyway, Lug should be here momentarily. I hope you two have a fruitful professional partnership or whatever.
All right. Thank you. We still have Animal to help us here?
Yep. So, Midnight Crew support, FOP support is up to Animal, Jeremy, and now Lug, who you see laid back in a rowboat just drifting onto your shore. He gets up, cracks his back, and goes, "All right. There is a man melting beeswax here."
Wait, he's still at it?
Yep.
Bill goes over to Cargo and asks him if he could do anything to expedite this process for him. This seems terrible.
Cargo sighs and goes, "No, because I have to stir the wax in an exact sequence of clockwise to counterclockwise, otherwise it won't work."
Sweet Tooth is studying this for candy making.
Like, Sweet Tooth isn't helping, he's just taking notes.
Lug takes a note from Sweet Tooth, sits down, also begins sketching.
Sweet Tooth's just gonna like hand him a few sheets of paper and a pen that's made out of candy.
He takes it. He gets working.
If your hands are sweaty, that's gonna get sticky. Just a heads up.
He looks at that, takes a bite of the pen, nods, keep writing.
Bill looks at Sweet Tooth and says, "So, with all of this, oh, that'll get sticky if you hold it too long, or oh, don't let that get wet. What keeps you from melting in the rain like the Wicked Witch of the West? I don't understand it. What percentage of you is candy at this very moment?"
Probably about 50. Usually the healing candy I have cures the diabetes I get daily. And that's mostly just by volume of what I eat. Once it's in my cells, it gets converted to what food would be.
Wait, by volume of... You eat 50% of your body weight every day?
Yeah, I gotta put on a lot of calories to keep up with the amount of energy I'm burning pulling taffy.
Bill kind of mutters to himself, and they call me the monster.
You think back to watching him pull taffy, and it's an unnerving experience because of the like franticness he does it with. So that feels like it tracks.
Maybe Sweet Tooth should learn the burning blood.
Alright, well, Bill invites Lug into the candy shop.
Yep, what?
Once I have something Bill needs to do once everyone is settled.
Okay.
Charlie's gonna run off and look for what's his name? Erasure, see if he's still here.
Charlie, you don't see him in town.
Okay.
Bob, is propulsion back?
Yeah, if everything checked out.
Okay.
There's no way for him to test the big one, but he's just going to assume it's fine.
Yeah, if everything else was fine, that was probably fine too. So...
Considering the cost of the big one, has Propulsion ever done it before?
No, but he's figured
That he just knows it on the table if he kicks off all the brakes.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
You're aware that you can throw a punch hard enough to break your hand, even if you've never done it before.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so everyone gathers up. Bill had a thing he wanted to say?
He had a thing he wanted to do once everything was all well and organized and a little tidier.
Okay.
Which is the instant he can be alone, he's going to beeline to his closet and see its condition.
Let me roll for that, actually.
Oh, shit.
You open to a void.
Is it a cozy void?
No, it goes on forever. There's no
Bill
floor.
falls to his fucking knees.
Sweet. Charlie's gonna walk over. I have an idea. We might be able to fix this. He's just gonna go start finding boards and see if we can just build you a little box in there so it feels like home.
I wouldn't feel safe. Is Timekeeper still in the building?
The timekeeper is still in the building. He has been skimming off of the back Caro barbecue. They're all too polite to say anything, but he obviously has brought nothing to the cookout.
To be fair, it was kind of an impromptu cookout.
Yeah.
Actually, shouldn't Timekeeper just... Shouldn't he be able to help with the seasoning pretty well?
I can't tell if you're serious or if this is leading to like an Old Bay pun.
No, Timekeeper has all the time. He should be able to help them season the
There
meat.
you fucking go. Okay.
I feel like he could just carry that around as a zag, just like in case he needs to throw someone off the scent of what his power actually is.
Just whips out a duffel bag full of time. It's like, you don't know how long it took me to make this.
No, he doesn't make it. He just keeps it.
That's fair.
His power is he just has it. It's like being an old person with Werther's original. They just kind of happen. Bill will go out and ask Timekeeper, "What's going on with the closet, my friend?"
She's gonna go, yeah, about that. I don't know where it went. When the pocket collapsed, there was a bit of a gap. It was still in hyper time for a second, so it just kind of floated off.
Where does the door go now?
The in-between. The space between spaces.
How empty is the in-between?
Well, it covers all of the space that doesn't exist, so... very.
So you're saying we should board that door up as soon as we can?
Or use it as a trash dump. I don't know. I'm not a cop.
To the best of your knowledge, would throwing garbage into the in-between cause significant issues?
It is not even in the top 10 most irresponsible things we've done with hyperspace anomalies in Chernov's group.
Okay.
We've played beer pong with black holes before. I wouldn't worry about it.
All right. What's the general temperature there?
Room temperature, as long as you're near it, it evens out to a solid absolute zero if you go out a couple feet.
Okay. I don't... All right, thank you. And Bill will go to find Sweet Tooth and share with him some information about... Bill isn't entirely certain what Sweet Tooth does to make some of the candy. He's seen the taffy pulling, but doesn't know any of the finer details. And he's going to bring up you might want to improve some of your insulation because we're just sitting on an absolute zero mystery spot.
Oh, if I need to go and collect some cold, I can do that from there. That's handy.
What?
Also, there's already some candy wrappers in there.
No, what do you mean collect? No, you know what, never mind, I don't want to know. And then Bill will go and he's going to go and find a different closet. I refuse to believe this building only had one.
You find an electrical closet on the top floor.
Okay, we're in the flooded district, so that's not functional. How full is it?
Every wall is a fuse box, just floor to ceiling with fuses, all of them blown out. But there's nothing in there, like object-wise.
Is there a light electrical hum?
No, there's no current flowing through this electrical closet. You're not sure how this building has power.
This building has power?
It has like 2 functioning light bulbs, and then whatever Sweet Tooth needs to get his candy working.
We don't ask questions we don't want to know the answer to.
But I know who to ask.
We don't ask questions that we don't want to know the answer to. Company policy.
Bill will. He doesn't like this room because of all the jagged sharp points. It reminds him of some dreams he's had about the tooth, and not in a good way. And he remembers though that he's in the Midnight Crew now, and asks, "Hey, animal, are you nearby?"
You see a few of the fuses pop out of the wall, and you just hear a voice from behind the fuse box go, "Yeah, what's up?"
Do you know of any mystery spaces in this building that are about the size of my closet?
Yeah, plenty. Are you okay living between the walls?
I don't seem to have a choice. This building only has 2 fucking closets.
No, there's a broom closet in the on the second floor. It's just behind 3 walls.
So, Bill will go get a wrecking.
Yeah, Animal kicks down one of the fuse boxes, guides you to it. You and him just tear your way through 3 walls, and there's just a closet right there, completely
Sweet Tooth arrives yelling at Amp before he realizes who's actually knocking the walls down.
It wasn't me this time! Why are you so scary for such a friendly man?
Yeah, there is exactly 1 mop and 1 bucket in this closet.
All right. Bill yells to Sweet Tooth, "I learned how to do some grout work. I can try and fix up the floor and maybe the walls at some point." But Bill grabs the mop and bucket and takes them to Charlie and asks him if he can do that. Like, he looks at an object and kind of his eyes go unfocused, and he just knows about it.
As
Charlie
you
will
grab
see
the
powers in the
mop,
mops.
as you grab the mop, it is now a broom. The bucket is still a bucket.
Okay, maybe there was a reason this was behind 3 walls. Sealed away. Charlie will probably like to look at this. He has that wizard staff. So
Not
Bill
anymore.
will still take it to Charlie.
Charlie will see powers on the broom.
The broom has the power to be both a mop and a broom at the same time. The bucket has the power to be both full and empty at the same time.
Charlie's gonna point at those and say, "Do you need those?"
Well, considering Sweet Tooth is mad at me for busting his walls, I was going to offer them to him.
Dude, he's fine. Do you need those?
No?
Charlie's gonna gently grab the broom. I have a new wizard broom.
See if you can force them together into one more powerful object. Just like, every year in real time, we find a new, very, very slightly magical broom, and if you combine all 7 of them, you...
All right. Broom. Okay. So Charlie, you're aware of something disturbing as you take the broom. You're aware that you are both holding it and not holding it at the same time.
Good to know. I'm going to put it both where the old wizard broom was stored and where the old wizard broom was not stored.
It is both in your bag and not in your bag, while simultaneously not being held and still being held.
I actually strapped it to my back.
All right. It is simultaneously being held and is on your back.
Perfect.
You realize there are now 2 of them.
Oh no.
What have I done?
This became a problem very quickly. Are they the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
They both have the same abilities.
Do I see the reason they're getting cloned? that's
Because
obvious.
the state did not change. It is still being held and not being held.
Okay, I'll put it down.
There are now 3, as it is now being held, and on the ground, and not on the ground.
What the fuck is going on?
And
Like,
simultaneously is on your back and is not on your back.
I'm going to pick it back up.
Unfortunately, you can't, as it is not on the ground.
our fucking base, the place that we've been in for years in real time, has a goddamn end of the world scenario hidden in a secret broom closet.
Fucking make new rooms.
Can
It
I
was
just
sealed off for a reason.
can I just power drain the copies until they don't work anymore?
Yeah, but they're going to be power drained and not power drained at the same time.
Does that mean they're an infinite source of energy?
Sure. Because you're also getting energy, but you're not getting energy.
Charlie, how's the situation looking? Should we?
I don't know.
Charlie's just fucking drooling right now.
No, he's a little scared because he doesn't know how to not make more brooms right now.
All right, Charlie, I have an idea. It's probably a bad one.
Don't eat it.
All right.
Was that your idea?
Wait, Oh, I thought you said don't need it. Like you didn't want me to say anything.
I said don't eat it.
All right, I realize you're big into brooms and mops and various other cleaning products, and this one does seem to be very magical.
No, I'm scared of it now.
Okay, let's go to the old closet and anoint ourselves a broom dimension.
You know what? I'll play along.
Okay, you go to the void closet. Does anyone else have ideas for the not broom?
I'm just gonna not get involved in this. They started this issue. It's their problem now.
Actually, I would like counsel from Hancock if he has any ideas on how to get rid of the brooms that are already here.
Should I roll mind?
Yeah, you can. This would be a research roll.
5 tens?
Okay. So what this is this broom is defined by state-based actions. Anything that can be attributed to it is and is not, it is both at the same time. So if you move this broom at all, it will simultaneously be moved and be not moved. You need to find a way to get rid of it that does not change its state in any way. So you can't destroy this broom because it will simultaneously be destroyed and not be destroyed at the same time. You need a way of making... You basically need to exploit its mechanics so that it was never there to begin with.
Can we get Timekeeper to expand and collapse some space again?
Yeah, you can try.
If Bill were to eat it, considering Bill completely annihilates things, will that work?
What if we just leave it alone, right? And then when someone steals it off of them,
Because they will have stolen it and not stolen it.
yeah, they will have stolen it and not stolen it. Then it's their fucking then it's their problem and also not their problem.
Yeah.
The fucked up part is that is absolutely correct. You understand completely.
Oh shit.
So, Seth, I'll give you one for free. As Charlie takes off his harness to put the broom into the void, you realize there's no second broom because you took off the harness, not the broom.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so when I take out, can I put the broom in the harness while it's not on my back?
Unfortunately, the harness is now in the void. You can try and get that back if you want, but you'd be bringing another broom back in, while simultaneously also not bringing the broom back.
Okay, I'm just, yeah.
The issue is there's still the one in your hand. And not in your hand.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I still have the obsidian knife?
Yes.
Okay. Charlie's about to pull a pro gamer move. I'm going to cut my hand off.
All right. The hand with this scary not broom mop goes into the void and is simultaneously not in the void.
Ample regrow his hand.
So it seems like it needs to be touching something that isn't biological.
So we still have one outside.
You do have the one on the floor.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean
What
that
if-
since Charlie picked one up, can he never put it down again?
Yeah, you can. So, Charlie, you're aware that there is this. It is attached to the hand. The specter of the broom will haunt you till the end of time.
Question.
All right.
What if we just let the soldiers research it, right? And then we weaponize
No, because
it?
they'll research it and not research it.
Yeah, they'll research it and not research it, which means I get 2 researches off at the same time.
No, it actually evens out to 0 research.
Don't do this to me, Sam. I want to weaponize this because it's hilarious.
We haven't even got to the bucket
You
yet.
son of a bitch!
So the issue is, how do you guys want to interact with the one that's just on the floor here?
I'm genuinely considering just putting yellow tape around it with a do not touch sign.
I
Actually,
guess,
say do not change state sign.
can we rip off that section of the floor with a broom on it and throw it into the void?
Then it'll just enter the void, not into the void again, right?
But the harness one entered the void.
So the void helps you guys out because it has no definite borders. It is the void. It is the space between spaces.
Okay.
It is possibly the only thing that can safely dispose of the brooms.
Okay, so why did the hand thing not work then?
No, the hand
Because-
thing did work. The only hand thing left is... the only broom left is the one on the ground. So the issue is it was
Gotcha,
simultaneously not in your hand.
Okay.
So basically,
So-
there's just 2 ghostly images of the broom that are on the edge of the void where that does not exist. We're interacting with some very weird shit. I am sorry if this is hard for me to explain. We are reaching bad math levels of anomaly right now, and my brain
Yeah,
is
so
getting
I
tired.
like the idea of just kind of cutting off that section of the floor and eating it into the void carefully.
That seems like the best option, but I do see another issue.
Okay.
The bucket is simultaneously full and not full, so we can't throw that into the void because depending on how that works, if it spills or flips upside down, assuming there's gravity in the void, it could flood the void to unimaginable consequences.
What happens if we threw someone in there, into the bucket? They'd be in the bucket and not in the bucket? Would they be able to do anything?
The bucket isn't defined by entry, it's defined by full and empty. It is simultaneously full and empty.
Yeah, but is it full of such person or empty of such person?
So here's the thing, you've never determined what it's full of yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I'm legitimately. Bill is going to march back to the closet. He is going to put the bucket in a corner, and we're going to deal with that at a later date.
Wait a
because it's
second,
not
Bill picked up a
currently
broom, right?
problem.
Did you
Yes.
pick up the broom to... Okay, we need to find a way to determine the broom. Does Bill cut off his own hand and throw that in?
I mean, probably, yeah. What other option is there?
Okay, good. That's done. You guys have enough people with absurd bodies and coordination that if you just want to pick up the chunk of floor and throw it into the void, you can do that.
That was what I was planning on doing, yes.
Okay. You look back at the closet, there's still a broom mop there because you simultaneously did pick it up and did not pick it up.
That's fine. We can leave the one in the closet.
So, Bill will...
It's just against the rules to touch. We're going to put a little sign around that says "Do not change state."
And then Bill will yell for Animal again.
Animals
I'm
there?
going to
Yeah.
And, okay, Animal, I want you to know I'm not mad at you. I really appreciate you finding this closet. But it was definitely sealed off for a reason. That is a terrible, terrible broom. Can you,
It's a
without
mop.
can you, without touching anything, give us a map of every fucking room you're aware of in this hellmouth of a building?
Yeah, he shows you a map. There's 6 more closets that are sealed off.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to give this piece of paper to Sweet
John
Tooth.
Hannibal Hancock's gonna look at you and like, no, we are not
I
opening
am
up more
not opening
doomsday.
any more closets. We are going to keep this piece of paper somewhere enormously safe in case we ever need to unseal an apocalyptic event for some.
Sweet Tooth folds it up and puts it in his hat.
Animal's
Alright.
nodding and going, the fucked up thing is we built this place, so, like, this isn't old. This is... Someone just left those there.
Wait, do you remember, were those rooms there in the original plans of this building?
It was labeled as a broom closet, so maybe.
Why was
Why
it
is that room
sealed
closet
off?
a Broomstay device.
I don't know. The ceiling... I'll be honest, the 3 walls were not on the blueprint, so I guess the builders just did that.
All right, Adam, I need you to tell me very, very carefully. Is the building that was given to us not fit for habitation because you were trying to get rid of a house of leaves?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't haunted. That's recent. I'll be honest with you. It was not haunted when we gave it to you.
Bill looks up and sees one of the many candy crucifixes at the corner of the hallway.
Both is haunted and is not haunted.
No.
Is this G Slice's fault?
This is G Slice's revenge.
So,
His actual artifact was this broom and bucket the whole
So-
time.
Seth,
No.
I do need to actually warn you. The broom is and is not still in your possession, even if you have no physical way of interacting with it now.
Good to know.
Okay.
Can I? So, just curious. Could I? And I'm not going to take this action, but could I just grab the broom?
You have no physical way of doing that. This is also
Okay.
true for Bayou Bill. You guys have just been marked by the broom mop.
Okay. Sam, I need you to tell me something honestly.
Yes.
How long has this cursed artifact been in the candy shop building?
About a week after you guys moved into the building.
How long have you had written that it was in this building?
It has just been an idea I've had since before this campaign started.
Okay, was it in the building before I talked about finding a new closet?
I had it down that the next time someone looked for a broom closet, it was going to be in there.
Fuck.
I do have an idea of what's in 5 of the 6 other sealed off closets, too.
Okay, so
We'll deal with those another time.
let's all agree that we're not going to open any more hell closets unless we need ancient, powerful artifacts of completely non-understandable.
Should we go to the flotilla? I think that's probably a better idea than.
Yes, let's go to the flotilla. Let's never speak of this again unless we have to. And
But we have and also have not spoken about this.
Hancock.
He walks away on that.
All right. Okay, so based on what little I got from Chivalry,
I feel like Bayou-Bill's about to get sick because his brain's just melting from all the meta shit going around him.
Avery. Wait. Now, you know what? I guess we have an option that we could use at some point to actually fix this, but I don't. Just go to the flotilla and stop dealing with this bullshit.
Okay.
At some point, we could. We have a stalker upstairs. They forgot to take him back. If he touches the broom, that might fix the problem, but.
Ooh, we have him take the broom with him, right? And then he just hands it off to some person we hate. I'd prefer Cobb because that'd be really fucking funny.
Hopefully, because he's a stalker, it'll break. But it's also possible that when it breaks, every single one of them will appear in that moment, so the stalker will be killed by hundreds of billions of brooms.
Oh wait, so this is just another lug nut trick.
Yeah. But it'd still be really funny of just giving Cobb a broom that he cannot let go.
Sam, if one of those closets has bad math inside it, I'm going to be very upset.
We open up
Timothy. So, Sam, when do we meet Timothy Tipton as an NPC?
Depends on what closet you open.
Let's not open any more closets. We're gonna get into a bar fight with the god of bar fights.
Hey, but what about the Swedish chef? Is he in one of them?
No, you gotta find the Cajun restaurant for that one.
Why is a Swedish chef in a Cajun restaurant?
Do not underestimate his culinary expertise.
I'm not, but I'm pretty sure he'd rather cook Swedish food.
Wow,
I think this
racist.
became like the worst. This became the weirdest bottle episode of the session.
Well, next week we are for sure, because I'm getting on the bike right now, going to be in the flotilla!
You guys, Charlie, you do notice some emergency flares going up from the flotilla.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Actually, there's not a time limit on it. So before this scene ends, I am going to summon the anomaly to stick by me.
Do you want to... There's a time limit in the sense that it takes charge to keep it going. What would you be draining from?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have any consistent cost.
It doesn't have sync on it?
It has sync on the summon, not on persistently going.
I thought we ruled that as it takes a startup and then goes every round.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay. Either way, you guys do have the back Caro bikes, which are fucking power plants. So you can do it. That being said, we're going to end session there because fuck the broom, man. It melts my mind a little bit trying to get...
The idea that our base is just, like, if anything goes wrong, if, like, there's an explosion and it unseals one of these rooms, the hub is fucked. it's like...
I feel like this isn't even, like, in the top 5 most dangerous warehouses.
Yeah, no, every building in the hub is like this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why do you think scavenging is so dangerous?
Okay, I have been playing this game for what, like 3 years? How the fuck did I not ever have this? Chris, is this how you felt about the tiered city thing?
Yeah. Well, except for I was playing this game for fucking 5 years by that point. And then he goes, "Oh, it's tiered city, by the way." Just so you guys know, it's a tiered city.
See, I just thought this place was a shithole. I didn't think it was actively the most cursed location.
They're not all as bad as the broom and bucket. It's just there
There's some
are
very well
anomalies
versed, though.
everywhere.
Fuck.
I mean, this is the most paranormal area.
I still
I
need
feel like
to
that's
play,
on you for not sussing that out.
I still need to play a plant person, so I just turn it into a giant section into a rainforest.
With every time I've discussed this stuff with Sam, or I talked with Sam before joining the game, I assumed, like, I've heard about the broom before, so I thought this shit was in the Scar.
Well, no, oh, wait, he's talked about that specific broom before?
I swear to God he has.
Oh, that's funny.
I remember you talking about it on like in your car in like 2018 or something.
Yeah, that's when I made it for the warehouse.
I wasn't even in the game yet. Oh, and I cursed myself by having that conversation. Fuck.
It's perfect.
You guys think I don't wait on things for years, but I do.
No, I know you do. It just doesn't make it hurt any less.
It is 10 o'clock. Do we need to do that?
We are ending right now. We are doing an experience. Everyone gets an experience. Who stayed in character the best this session?
I want to give that to Bob.
Yeah, Bobber.
I'll third that.
All right, Bob. Gain that experience.
Bobber, the man that dies.
Shit.
Very good response, Bob. I agree.
All right, who was most fun or had the best bit tonight?
I want to say Chris had the best bit because it will be their problem and also not be their problem. That killed me.
All right, that's one vote for Chris. What do you guys think?
I don't know why I zoned out and I completely forgot the entire session.
Perfect.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I like zoned out as soon as like the Reginald thing ended, and I was like, okay. And then I like fucking lost it.
You like
I remember Chris's thing was funny. I remember I said something funny earlier in the session, but
I remember Sam said something that fucking killed me.
It was the cargo shorts thing, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the cargo shirts. Yeah. I'd like to
you're-
give 1 point to cargo. I'm voting for cargo.
All right, one vote for Chris, one vote for Cargo.
No, 2 votes for Chris.
All right, 2 votes for Chris. Chris, get that experience. Unless, no, Bob. I don't think Bob.
Chris.
I don't think Bob's voting for Cargo. Finally, I don't know if most useful counts for this session, so we're gonna go. Who has the worst idea for something to do with the broom and or mop and bucket?
So what Sweet Tooth's going to do is he's going to run in there, and he's going to say, "Hey, I remember when I did this with the kid," and he's just going to start taking as many of them as he can, running them back and forth to the candy cooling table, and just absolutely load it up and both turn it into candy and not turn it into candy. That way he can have infinite candy because people then have eaten that candy and have not eaten that candy. So they can just keep eating it and they'll be full and not full. And then, like, they'll probably be immortal because, like, if they starve to death, they'll starve to death and they won't starve to death. And there's no consequences of this. This is a perfect action.
I will not be taking questions. Move on.
Amp would like to make a stadium out of the brooms. So that there's both not a stadium in the hub, and also there is a stadium in this hub. And that's it.
Avery will.
Oh my god, does that mean that people went to the concert but also didn't go to the concert?
You're indie, but also a superstar.
No, he's just indie.
Ouch.
Avery will, because the bucket is full of presumably water, Avery will try to use the water as a teleport point by diving into it. So he teleports and simultaneously does not teleport. And that's just so I can finally get an answer for what happens if you put no physical change on a teleport power.
Wait, but the bucket followed the rule full but not full.
Yeah, so he would be able to teleport and not teleport.
Not quite. It is also.
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
not
it
full
works
of water. It's just full.
Listen, I'm gonna. I'm gonna get you to explain at some point what no physical change does on a teleport power.
Yeah, but not with the bucket.
Shit.
All right, Bob.
Just gonna
what's your
build
idea?
one with non-physical change.
Start distributing mops around the flooded district. Get people to mop up the flooded district. Get all the moisture out of the air with the infinite mops.
We could start selling the brooms while also not start selling the brooms.
I think
The flooded district will at the same time be flooded and not flooded.
We'll fucking throw the brooms into the singularity and hope that sorts it out.
The
but
brooms
you
are
have
both
also
off.
not thrown it into the singularity.
Yeah.
And it also has not sorted it out.
I think
The
Bob's does the most
singularity will
damage.
fucking-
What if we did something where it had 3 states instead of 2?
Ooh.
The singularity will purify it like a deviled egg, and everything will be fine.
Hey! That deviled egg on the windowsill. You should eat that.
It smells so bad.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
sun.
every second you don't eat it, it's getting worse.
That smell means the sun has purified it.
So we could do like 4 states by like doing like we threw it into the air spitting, we didn't throw it in the air.
But
We
I agree,
spun it.
Bob should get that point.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
Bob.
Bob gets that experience point. That being
I have an
said,
idea.
oh, what's up?
I have an idea. I am just going to. So you could just walk into the broom closet and state broom and see what happens.
Full disclosure, the bucket and mop, those are artifacts people can attune to and get powers.
They can attune to and not attune to?
Yeah, it's
As I recall from the conversation I had with Sam in 2018, he did not offer a solution to this problem.
Ed might attune to the fucking mop then.
Please don't. I don't want to. I don't want to ever have to deal with this again.
remember the
But
rule
wait.
of 1 still applies. You can only be attuned to 1 artifact at a time.
Sam,
So
I don't
you're
have an
saying is-
artifact.
When we get our third character slot. Wait, Amp doesn't have an artifact?
Nothing.
So you could pick up the broom and...
What is Amp's source?
And attune to the fucking broom. That'd be pretty cool.
Actually, what is Amp's source?
I'm not saying.
We need to
All
have
right.
a conversation about your mechanics. 'Cause-
Now Sam's like, wait a fucking second.
Yeah, the mop's a difficult one. It can be 4 states if there is a way to get it into superposition where it is both the broom and the mop at the same time, and then it gets a lot more difficult.
By the way, I am going to say that
So we like put the broom in the bucket. And
I'm
then
going
the
to say
bucket-
that Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead.
I am going to say that the time closet is a great location for a getaway. There are ample cleaning supplies within that closet. And so it's really easy to clean up after any mess you make. It's very spacious. If you wait in there long enough, furniture might show up. Don't go too far in or it'll be a little cold, but that does give you the opportunity to bundle up. It's a good winter getaway.
Think about 6 years worth of sessions from now. We're going to summon the bus. It'll open the door and a bunch of brooms will pour out.
Sam, do I get the point from last week for the pitcher timeshare?
Oh yes.
Sick.
Sorry. Okay. So, just full disclosure on how the bucket works. You have to decide what it's full of. The bucket can be full of anything. It will never not be full and empty at the same time.
It's full of bees.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like the broom's kind of shitty, but the bucket's are really good. It works like how you how
It does not
the
work like
the
how
s-
you want it to. It's also incredibly dangerous.
Okay.
I feel like that one feels more dangerous, or feels less dangerous. So it's probably way more dangerous because we don't realize why it's bad.
Hey, wait, no, we're going to the flotilla, so it doesn't work. At some point, I would love to do a micro session about opening another closet.
I would be down for that.
If we ever need a beach episode,
I would like 100% be okay with Amp just smacking a wall one time and like falling through it into another closet.
Anytime we need to make alterations to this building, we're going to need to have Sam to roll if we accidentally destroy the world.
Man, you guys aren't even going into how fucking cursed the wharfs are with how many shipping containers they got. You think that's full of normal shit? No, none of it is normal.
I don't know. I feel like I should have had this information earlier.
I'm really hoping that one of the broom closets has the SCP that like keeps fucking building rooms.
I feel like
in the inner.
more room.
Well, now I gotta scratch it out, Chris.
We go into it. There's a broom closet with a door made out of glass.
It's like you go into a broom closet. There's a door on the other side, and fucking, you go through the door on the other side. You're in a weird, very scary house full of traps. Because we realized that in order to learn the system, Sam just ported all of Curse of Strahd into Wild Talents, and you just entered the House of Death. It's like Bono episode, bitches. It's Curse of Strahd for the next 3 years.
Fucking yeah, it just fucking switches over to a 5e campaign rather than.
I feel like Strahd would just immediately die against this group.
I think the thing you forget is that Strahd cheats and doesn't follow the rules most of the time.
Yeah, you're
So
Wild
do
Talents
we.
characters, neither do you.
Yeah,
Like I
it just
don't
literally
think Strahd-
evens the playing field.
Okay, Chris, I don't think Strahd can pass a stability check. Like I don't think he cannot do what you tell him to, and I don't think he has willpower inherently.
He has a wisdom save and legendary resistances.
Yeah, that's like it automatically passes one resistances.
Okay, like 3 times.
That's still pretty good.
It's like 3 base will. Which is below average.
Yeah, okay, so my turn to glass has duration, so I slap that on him once, and he's dead in 4 rounds.
However, every single thing, every single power and stat he has gets a special +1 that only he gets. That's +1 Gary Gygax, and the only explanation for it is fuck you.
He'd be a fun character to sort of like convert into a Wild Talents character, though.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Just
of
because he does actually like cheat in the game book.
like just build like a completely generic vampire lord who comes to the city. Where he's like, what? What the hell happened? Where the fuck am I?
Tom's next character.
My next character is going to be Augury Jackson.
There's a good chance my next character is going to be Jack O'Lantern. If that is the case, I think he will roll up at the same time as Augury Jackson, and we'll just have a story of them having been traveling together.
Yeah, they
I
had a
already-
really nice time at a haunted house in the mall, and they just hung out after since.
And then,
Yeah.
and then Jack O'Lantern heard that there was a candy shop, and well, as
I-
the essence of Halloween, he couldn't resist.
Yeah, but I didn't even think about how well he meshes with Sweet Tooth.
I already NPC'd my next character.
I mean, he was good for one incredible reveal.
Yeah. He'd be a great NPC. He'd also be terrible for the squad because he has to, like, divulge any plan he knows. In, like, grandeur. So, like, if we had to sneak anywhere, that's not fucking happening.
You're talking about monologue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm picturing Propulsion versus Strahd, and that's a hell of a fight.
That would be a fun fight.
Okay, so I don't know who Strahd is.
Vampire Lord from Curse of Strahd.
He does fuck around with Mindscape stuff, which is fucking perfect for Propulsion.
Propulsion's like, you fucked up more than you can physically comprehend.
Yes,
What?
but you're already in the third layer of Mindscape.
And I've already broken out of the first 2 layers. Congratulations. This is
would
not
it be-
my first rodeo. This is not even my second rodeo. In fact, this is not even my 3rd rodeo.
This is
You're
like your
just slowly
sixth rodeo.
going crazy, like, about how many times you're just stuck in Mindscape.
Strahd's sitting there like, oh wow, this is breaking him a lot more. Oh wait, no, he's completely fine.
Oh, this is just anger.
I have died before and been put into a mindscape. That's how many times I've done it.
Like, he just sees Propulsion disappear. It's like, what just happened? There's a massive fiery crater where Propulsion was. The fist is connecting with Strahd's face.
Oh, do you want to come over Friday to finish up Obi-Wan? I just want to see the last 2 episodes already.
Sure.
Anytime this week, actually.
Also-
I really want to watch the last 2 episodes.
Could you make a driven power that just breaks you out of mindscapes? Because I feel like he needs that at this point.
At the end of this session, Bill did change his will so that if he ever dies, instead of doing what we did with Propulsion, he just wants Avery to turn him into a puppet.
You're gonna fucking Alphonse him?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed, boys.
Nice
I
to see you,
will
Chris.
talk- Wait, actually, on the day of Sam's escape room, afterwards, do we want to go see Thor Love and Thunder? It comes out that day.
I probably wouldn't, but I'd be down for the escape room still.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to go to a theater right as a film releases.
That's fair. What about you two? Because Nishot really wants to see it for that Chris Hemsworth movie.
They're dead. They're dead.
They died. They fucking died as they lived.
I guess we're going to be holding a funeral instead.
Okay.
Tyler, you're on the hair squad.
I'm trying to...
Die, apparently.
I'm always dead. I've always been dead. I am just a figment of your imaginations. You must let me go.
Wait, Seth, who are you trying to hand control of running Hero Squad to?
You.
Oh, I don't think I can do that.
I know.
Sam, you can't keep me tethered to this mortal plane just to pay half your rent.
Please?
So also,
So
Tom,
you just have to come
can I publish
home with
that
us.
quote from earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt session to ask, so.
Sammy, you just have to come live with me and Nisha if Bob dies.
I already posted that, Chris.
I am quoting what Bob just said, though.
I apologize. Seth?
I thought Seth's name was spelled with 7 S's.
It's literally just one scroll up on the grease trap.
Listen, I fucking have memory of like 6 right now.
6 what?
Yes.
Exactly.
What were we talking about?
Who?
How Sam is keeping my soul trapped in this mortal form just to pay half rent.
What's Fisher doing?
Fisher is just chilling. He actively just fucks off unless you like draw attention to him.
He was going to help us at the
Yeah.
flotilla, right?
Did we actually fucking decide what we're doing at the flotilla? Are we just gonna assassinate the one member we don't want and call it a day?
Listen, if we have a plan, it'll just go wrong. I know how we work.
Are you gonna fucking amp this where you're just like, I don't have a fucking plan, I'm just gonna go in there.
We're gonna have a plan. We just need to understand it. Won't change anything.
Yeah, I feel like no one actually kind of knows what we're doing. We might want to talk about this.
I really thought we were just gonna go in, assassinate the one leader we didn't want there.
That was my assumption. Yes, I didn't know if we had anything further than that.
I'm gonna stop streaming real fast.